Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It is February 16th, 2023 and Julian Adarve has filed a complaint against Barcelona with FIFA. Also, Ilkay Gundogan's representatives met with the club today and Barcelona are currently tracking the Argentinian Julian Alvarez. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin with the news that Barcelona drew 2-2 against Manchester United at the Spotify Camp Nou in that Europa League playoff match where the winner will get to advance to the round of 16. Now, as expected, this was a very exciting and entertaining match with a lot of back and forth between two teams that just been revitalized this season, and where the match became a roller coaster with where each team were taking turns and controlling the match, and where Manchester United began the first half exerting their dominance over Barcelona. Then Barcelona regained control of the match. Then Manchester United started dominating again, and there was a lot of back and forth all throughout the 90 minutes. And then Barcelona were able to end the match by dominating Manchester United and creating a lot of chances and coming very close to scoring a third goal and taking home a very important victory. Now, as I said in yesterday's video, this was going to be Barcelona's first big test to see whether they can compete at the European level. And I think that Barcelona did not pass the test and we were exposed a little bit during this match. Now, even though Barcelona did have some moments where they were exerting their control over the match, overall Manchester United played much better than Barcelona and played at a higher level. And there were several moments throughout the match where Barcelona seemed like they were barely hanging on. And even though Barcelona did show that they can compete against Manchester United, they didn't show that dominance and forcefulness that Barcelona used to exert over teams like Manchester United in the past. And it's good to remember that Manchester United are not even the best team out of the Premier League. There's still Manchester City and Arsenal who are miles ahead of Manchester United. So if Barcelona can barely compete against someone like Manchester United and can exert their dominance over them, then how is Barcelona going to fare against teams like Manchester City, Arsenal, or the Bundesliga giants Bayern Munich? Now, I think that this lack of edge a little bit on the side of Barcelona is mostly due to the competitiveness of the Premier League, because after all, the Premier League is much more competitive than La Liga. So Manchester United are constantly having to face difficult situations week after week, but Barcelona have yet to meet a team in La Liga to put them to test the way Manchester United did today. So as a result, Barcelona's players had to really exert themselves physically today, and that's of course unsustainable to do week after week. And we clearly saw that with the injury of Pedri. Now, Barcelona will travel to Old Trafford next week, where the winner will be decided in that away match. And even though I do believe that Barcelona does have a good chance of beating Manchester United, I still think that Barcelona have shown that they don't quite have the level yet to compete at the Champions League level. But I do think that we are very close and we are definitely miles ahead from where we were last season, but we are not quite there yet. Now, there was a really bad refereeing call during the match where a clear handball in the box was not called in the favor of Barcelona. And in the post-match press conference, Xavi expressed his absolute anger and fury that a penalty kick was not called in the favor of Barcelona. And he also recalled how the same thing happened in the Champions League, where Barcelona were not awarded a clear penalty against Inter Milan. And that was one of the several reasons why Barcelona were eliminated out of the Champions League and had to be relegated to the Europa League. Now, that wasn't the only bad news to come out of this match. The other bad news is Pedri's injury. And Barcelona have confirmed that Pedri has an injury in his right thigh. And even though the club have not confirmed how long Pedri is going to be out, reports are already estimating that Pedri could be out around 3 to 4 weeks, which is of course a huge blow for Barcelona. But we are going to know more tomorrow when more extensive medical exams will be performed on the player. Now, if this estimate is confirmed, that means that Pedri will miss the away leg against Manchester United. and that means that Barcelona will be without Pedri and Ousmane Dembele. And it is reported that Busquets could be back by then, but nonetheless, the loss of Pedri and Dembele will be a huge blow for Barcelona. But hopefully, Xavi will find a solution, and Barcelona will be able to defeat Manchester United. Now, speaking of bad news, Union Adarve has filed a complaint against Barcelona with FIFA. Now, Union Adarve is a second division team in the Spanish league, where Marcos Alonso spent some time there in their youth academy while he was forming as a player. And Union Adarve are claiming that Barcelona owe them some money for the transfer of Marcos Alonso. Now, in the summer, we saw a deal between Barcelona and Chelsea that saw Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang join the Premier League club, and then I saw Marcos Alonso join Barcelona from Chelsea. Now, Union Adarve are stating that this was a straight-up swap deal where Barcelona traded Aubameyang for Marcos Alonso, and as such, Barcelona owe them money under a program that was established by FIFA in order to stimulate the economies of lower division teams. And this program states that when a lower division team helps mold a player and that player is traded between first division clubs, then that team is owed a percentage of money. So if Union Adarve can prove that Marcos Alonso was indeed traded for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, then Barcelona should pay Union Adarve some money because they helped mold Marcos Alonso under this FIFA program. Now, Barcelona are of course contending that this was not a swap deal, that this was two separate operations that saw Barcelona sell Aubameyang to Chelsea and sign Marcos Alonso from Chelsea. But FIFA is gonna have to decide on whether this was a swap deal or these were two separate operations. And if it's proven that Barcelona did indeed swap both players, then Barcelona could face sanctions, and it would also owe some money to Union Adarve under this FIFA program. Now on to the news that Ilkay Gundogan's representatives met with Barcelona today at the Barcelona offices. Now, Ilkay Gundogan's contract will expire in the summer and he will become a free agent. And Barcelona were contemplating signing him for quite some time, as it's reported that Xavi is a big fan of the player and he would love to have him on the team either in a pivot position or as an interior. Now, Gundogan's agents are meeting with several clubs to see what will be the next destination for the German-Turkish midfielder, but it is good news that they are meeting with Barcelona because it means that the player does have interest in joining the Blaugranas. And we're going to have to see whether he does end up deciding joining Barcelona, because after all, Xavi would love to have him on the team. And I think this will be a very good signing because Ilkay Gundogan is an amazing midfielder who can play both in a pivot and an interior position. And of course, he does have that high-level experience playing in the Champions League and in the Premier League. And the cherry on top would be that he would be joining as a free agent. Now, speaking of Manchester City, it's reported that Barcelona are currently tracking the Argentinian Julian Alvarez. Now, Julian Alvarez was a player that Barcelona had the chance to sign, but they missed out on this chance, and as a result, he did join Manchester City. However, Julian Alvarez is now not getting too many playing times because he is the substitute of Erling Haaland. And when you are competing against someone like Haaland, it's very difficult to get any playing time. Now, Manchester City are currently involved with with a big problem as far as their signings, and there are threats of heavy sanctions against the team. And if those sanctions do materialize, then we could see some of their players leaving the club. So Barcelona are tracking Julian Alvarez because they're really interested in signing him. So if the sanctions do materialize, then Barcelona will be ready to pounce on this opportunity and sign the Argentinian world champion. Now, if the sanctions don't materialize, Barcelona are still tracking the player because, as I said, Julian Alvarez does want to get more playing time. And since Erling Haaland is present on the squad, it's not likely that Julian Alvarez will be getting any playing time soon. And even less likely because Erling Haaland is, after all, young too. So he will be there for many years. So Julian Alvarez could be looking to leave Manchester City and find a new team. And if that's the case, then Barcelona will also be ready to pounce on the opportunity and sign the Argentinian world champion. Now, speaking of forwards, Vitor Roque's agent has confirmed Barcelona's offer to Atlético Paranaense. Now, as I reported previously, Barcelona are very interested in signing Vitor Roque, and even though there were reports stating that Arsenal are currently exerting pressure and trying to steal the player away from Barcelona, It seems that Vitor Roque still has his sights on Barcelona and he does want to join the Blaugranas in the summer. Now, his agent has confirmed that Barcelona did make an initial offer to Atletico Paranaense worth 25 million euros. And it seems that the Brazilian club have rejected that offer. Now, even though Atletico Paranaense were reportedly willing to accept around 25 to 30 million euros for Vitor Roque, now that Brazil won the Under-20 South American Championship, with Vitor Roque being one of the top scorers of that tournament, Atletico Paranaense are now saying that Vitor Roque's value is much higher, and they're saying that his value could be as high as 60 million euros. Now, Barcelona are not going to be willing to pay that much for Vitor Roque, but they are willing to continue negotiations. But if Atletico Paranaense don't come down for that 60 million euro price, it looks like Barcelona will not be able to sign the Brazilian wonder kid. Now, speaking of Brazilians, Real Madrid's player Rodrigo has confirmed that he was very close to joining Barcelona. Now, Rodrigo gave an interview where he said that he had everything arranged with Barcelona and the contract and everything was agreed to. However, during the final moments, he changed his mind and he decided to join Real Madrid. Now, Rodrigo did not specify on why he changed his mind and decided to join Los Blancos instead. But of course, we all know that the reason was money, because Real Madrid swooped in during the final moments and offered Rodrigo a lot more money than what Barcelona were offering. Specifically, they offered him an 8 million euros signing bonus, and they also offered an 8 million euros signing bonus for his agents as well. So as a result, Real Madrid were able to take Rodrigo away from Barcelona, which is of course a shame, because I would have loved to see Rodrigo play for the Blaugranas, and I really think that he would have fit right in the Barcelona style of play. Now, we will end today's video with the news that Lionel Messi's father, Jorge Messi, was seen in the city of Barcelona, and this triggered a myriad of rumors stating that he was there to meet with Joan Laporta in order to arrange the return of Lionel Messi to the club. Now, I'm here to tell you that those rumors are absolutely false. Jorge Messi was seen in the city of Barcelona because that's where his house is and that's where he lives. He wasn't seen there because he was meeting with the club. He was simply returning from Paris, and he stated that Lionel Messi seems to be having some doubts about joining PSG. Now, Messi has not ruled out the possibility of renewing his contract with the Parisian club. He just has some doubts, and he is considering other options such as joining Inter Miami in the MLS. Now, to add to all of that, Jorge Messi did confirm that Messi will not be returning to Barcelona. So being seen in the city does not mean that Messi is coming back. It just means that Jorge Messi was simply flying back to go to his own home. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, peace, Barca.